comes home. I'm ready to building what I own. I don't spread doubt and expect the sun. I spread the fire. I spread the run toward discipline, toward the daily grind. That's the energy I leave behind. Everywhere I walk, every rep I take sends a signal for the world to make its own response, its own return, based on the fire that I let burn. The energy compound. I'm ready. Where the fire sound. I don't beg the world for a better hand. I set the tone. I make the stand. Whatever I bring is what comes back. Amplified return. Right on track. Bigger than the doubt. Bigger than the weight. Bigger than the version that hesitates. Every ounce of energy that I release returns to build my strength. My peace. This the round. The energy comes around. I'm ready. Standing on solid ground. Every breath, the energy multiplies. Every hard day, the discipline supplies. I don't outsource my own return. I control the fire that I let burn. Positive out, positive comes back. That's the love. That's the exact formula I trust. Day after day, what I spread around clears my own way. The energy I give comes back stronger. Every day I push a little longer. Discipline out, discipline returns. That's the fire that always burns. But I spread around, street is my road. Every good habit carries a load. I don't wait for the world to hand it to me. I feel the energy that sets me free. Battlefield was never the weight, never the track. It was the war inside my mind, the war I had to attack. Every doubt that ever stopped me lived in the thought first, before it showed up physical, before it did its worst. I stopped fighting what's outside before I won what's within. The mind that stays decided is the mind that's built to win. Nothing external never mattered more than the fight I face inside my own head in that exact same place. I decided mine don't negotiate with every voice of doubt. It hears it, acknowledges it, and still it figures out a way forward regardless of what the noise demands. That's the actual power sitting quiet in my hands. I don't need the outside world to hand me confidence. I built it in the silence, in the deep, in the immense. Discipline and thought that stayed the same through every test. That's the only victory that ever proved I'm blessed. Every rep I've ever finished started as a thought that stayed firm against the doubt that tried to talk me out that sway. Toward the exit, toward the comfort, toward the easy way. A decided mind don't listen, a decided mind don't stray. I control the only battlefield that actually decides what happens to my body, what happens to my strides. Master my own thinking and the rest just follows through. That's the conquest I committed to. That's what I do. Bigger than the setback, bigger than the pain I've known, bigger than the moments where I felt completely alone. Nothing external ever had the power to defeat a mind that stay committed, stay decided, stay complete. I stopped blaming circumstance for outcomes I could shape. Started owning every thought before it had escape. That's the actual difference between the ones who bend and the ones who master their own mind into the end. Every rep confirms the mind that stay decided through the ache. Every heartache proves the thinking, I refuse to let it break. I don't measure victory by trophies, by the score. I measure it by the war I went inside before. Anything external ever gets to have a say. The mind that stay decided always finds a way. Through the doubt, through the noise, through the loudest fear. Nothing's bigger than the mind that's already clear. The greatest conquest of my life was mastering my thought, not the weight I lifted, not the battles that I fought outside in the world where everybody else could see. The real war was internal and the real war set me free. Nothing is bigger than a mind that's fully decided. No circumstance, no doubt. conquest I create. That's the conquest I create. Chasing it far, going to any length. Turns out the power was inside all along, sleeping, waiting for me to grow strong. Never, I don't search out there no more. I found the source behind my own door. God put it in me before I could see. The power was always a part of me. Wake up, the power's already there. I'm ready, no more searching elsewhere. I look for courage in other men's eyes. Look for the fire in somebody else's prize. Faith was already planted in my chest. I just had to wake it, put it to the test. Purpose wasn't hiding somewhere far away. It was built inside me from the very first day. I stopped outsourcing what was already mine. The power woke up, never not crossed the line. This the shift, power woke up in me. I'm ready, that's the destiny. The shift, power woke up in me. Discipline showed up the second I believed. Action followed the second I received what was already given before I was born. Purpose, faith, courage, the whole uniform. I don't chase strength like it's somewhere external. I activate the power that's eternal. Inside my chest, inside my soul, the power was there, making me whole. Found it, the power in my chest. I'm ready, passing every test. My life changed direction the day I woke this up. Not from luck, not from an empty cup. From a power that was planted deep inside. Waiting on my faith, but waiting on my stride. Discipline and action turned the key. Unlock the strength that was always me. Bigger than the doubt, bigger than the fear. The power in me finally got clear. This the realm, the power leads the way. I'm ready, living it today. Shows itself every hard day. Pulled down off the shelf, faith activated. Action right behind. Purpose and power permanently aligned. I don't wait for strength to arrive from outside. I wait what's within and let it be my guide. Discipline feeds it, action sets it free. The power was always a part of me. There's a version of me that never once backed down. Never wore the fear, never wore the frown. Never settled quiet for less than what I made. She's been waiting patient, never was afraid. I look for her outside in every place I turn. Never knew the giant was the fire that I've earned. Living deep inside me since the day that I was born. Waiting for the moment when the sleeping self gets torn. I search for greatness like it lived beyond teach. Never understood the giant was already home, living in my chest. Never had the wrong faith, woke something up that fear kept sleeping tight. Mental strength emerged the moment I stood up right. Action was the key to finally turn the lock on the giant that was waiting, ready to unblock, block, block, block. Every rep I push is proof the giant's wide awake. Every hard day conquered is a step I choose to take toward the purpose planted deep before I understood that the strength I always needed was already doing good. Deep inside my spirit, waiting on my call. I don't search for greatness, I release it, that's all. Self-empowerment isn't building something new, it's remembering the giant that was always true. That told me I was small, and the fear that tried to build a wall between me and the version I was born to be, bigger than the noise that tried to silence me. Purpose calls the giant forward every single day. Faith in action working clear in every way. I don't wait for permission from the world outside. The giant woke up quiet and refused to hide. Every rep confirms the giant that was always there. Every hard set finish is a proof, is my prayer. I don't chase a version far beyond what's in my chest. I unlock what's sleeping, I release what's blessed. Rhythm strengths built daily, action paired with faith, purpose driving forward, nothing left to wait. The giant I was searching for was never lost or gone, just waiting on my courage to finally wake at dawn. The giant that I searched for lived inside me all along, sleeping through the seasons where my faith had grown weak, grown wrong. Every rep, every choice, every day I choose to rise. Wakes a little more what was hidden from my eyes. I don't need to build a giant, I just need to set it free. Faith in action, strength and purpose, that's the recipe. The gigantic that I looked for wasn't never far or gone, it was always here inside me. And now the giant's on. Every win starts in the mind, before the proof, before the sign. I picture it clear, before it's real. That's the first build, that's the first deal. Never, I don't wait to see it done, I see it first, before it's one. Think like a winner, before the fight. That's how the mind turns into might. See before the world can tell. I'm ready, building where I dwell. Visualize the weight before I lift. See myself moving it before the shift. The mind rehearses before the hand. That's how a vision becomes a plan. I don't just dream, I train the sight. Picture the win before the fight. Every giant move started as a thought that got repeated until it was caught. This the vision turning into stone. I'm ready, building on my own. Hard work meets the picture in my head. Action follows where the vision led. I don't just think big, I move big too. Mindset alone don't finish what I do. Confidence look from the work I've paid. Every rep stack, every choice I made. Thinking like a winner gets me to the door. Acting like a giant is what settles the score. Think back the two combined as one. I'm ready until the whole thing's done. Confidence ain't loud, confidence is built. Rep without the guilt. I strengthen my mind and I strengthen my hand. That's the exact order of the plan. Bigger than the doubt, bigger than the weight, bigger than the version that hesitates. Every giant step started as a thought that I fed with action until it was caught. Is this the round running hand, the line? I'm ready, the vision becomes mine. Every breath, the vision gets more real. Every heart set confirms what I feel. I don't separate the thinking from the grind. Winner in the mind, giant in the design of my daily actions, my daily attack. Nothing but all with this no limit. becomes a trade. I think like a winner, I act like a giant. Mind and body fully complying with the vision I built, with the work I bring. Every single day I strengthen the king. I started in my mind, now it's in my hand. Vision to action, that's the entire plan. I don't wait to see it, I build it instead. The winner in the heart, giant in the head. That's what I do. Heaven gave a gift, I gotta build the rest. Talent ain't enough, discipline's the test. God put the seed, I water it myself. Potential on the shelf means nothing, means no wealth. Never, I don't waste what I've been handed. Every gift I got gets fully commanded. Into action, into work, into the daily grind. That's how a gift becomes something defined. Giving use, that's the only way. I'm ready, building every day. God gave the potential, ground gets the sweat. I ain't collecting on a gift not met. With effort, with discipline, with daily fight. The gift alone don't meet the height. I climb myself using what's inside. Responsibility is where I reside. God opened the door, I walk it through. That's my part, that's what I do. This the deal, potential meets the grind. I'm ready, choosing what's assigned. Perseverance turns the gift into the gain. Discipline is water on the seed, on the strain. I don't sit and wait for the fruit to fall. I work the field, I answer the call. Every rep, every day I add to the yield. The gift plus the labor is how I build. Heaven gave the strength, I chose to apply. That's the difference between waiting and I apply. Hit the strength, don't stay unused. I'm ready, the gift stays fueled. Overcome the doubt that says the gift enough. Overcome the comfort that avoids the rough work that turns potential into something real. I don't just carry gifts, I make them steal. Bigger than the excuse, bigger than the weight, bigger than the version that hesitates. Every talent handed needs a hand that moves. I'm the hand that's working, I'm the one who proves. This the round, potential turns to proof. I'm ready in the building past the roof. Every rep the gift gets multiplied. Every hard day the strength gets verified. I don't bury talent waiting for a sign. I use it daily, I'm making mine. Responsibility is the price I pay for everything that heaven sent my way. God gave the seed, I gave the hand. That's how potential becomes the land. Make it grow. The rest was on me from the very first day. I took the potential and I built the way. God opened the door, I walked on through. Gift plus the work, that's what I do. I wasn't built to sit in doubt. I was built to figure it out. Doubt just freezes, keeps you in place. Evolution needs confidence, needs pace. Never, I don't start on what's not sure. I move forward, I stay secure. My mission ain't to prove my worth. It's to grow the gift I had since birth. Grow, not prove, that's not the aim. I'm ready, evolving,
not the same. Doubt keeps asking, am I good enough? I stop answering that question, that's stuff. I don't need to prove, I need to build every single day until it's fulfilled. The potential planted deep inside. Confidence is the fuel, doubt's not my guide. I wasn't born to question my place. I was born to pick up the pace. This the shit, confidence over fear. evolution's here. Every rap is growth, not a test. I don't need to prove I'm the best. I need to build what's already in me. Confidence unlocks success, the vision free. Doubt says wait, evolution says go. I choose the one that helps me grow. My value ain't up for debate. My potential's what I cultivate.
The potential, the proof, I'm ready.
Climbing past the roof. Confidence built from the work I do, not from the doubt that tries to slow the crew. I don't perform for an outside test. I develop daily. That's my quest. Bigger than the doubt, bigger than the weight, bigger than the version that hesitates. Every rep completed grows the frame. Evolution's the mission, not the fame. It's the round evolution takes the lead.
Already the best, the only creed.
Every rep, my potential expands. Every hard day, confidence commands. I don't measure by what I'm proving yet. I measure by the ground I'm at. Daily, building strong. Doubt don't own me. Doubt is wrong. I wasn't made to freeze in place. I was made to run the race. I was born to evolve, not to doubt my worth. Growing every day since the moment of birth. My mission ain't proven, it's building instead. Confidence in my heart, evolution in my head. Doubt tries to freeze, I keep the run. And every rep competing potential's begun. I don't stop to question, I don't stop to fear.
Born to evolve and the proof is here.
And the proof is here.
The light I chase was never something far away. It's the one I carry inside me every single day. Direction never came from something I could hold. It came from the fire in my heart that never turns cold. I searched the outside world for something to believe. Found it inside my own chest, no need to leave. The moment I found God in the middle of my fight, that's the moment fear stepped aside and gave me sight. I don't need an outside sign to tell me where to go. The compass was already in me, I just had to know. Consciousness and value steady through the storm. That's the constant force that keeps my spirit warm. Courage never showed up as a feeling calm and clear. It showed up as a decision made while I still had fear. Faith isn't the absence of the doubt I have to face. It's the presence of a light that holds me in my place. Every hard season taught me the light don't come from outside. It's a constant, I build quiet, a fire I don't hide. Discipline and faith are woven tight into the same grid. Every step I take is guided by the light I've fed. I don't wait for circumstance to hand me confidence. I find it in the quiet, in the deep, in the immense peace that lives inside me when I finally understand that the guidance that I needed was already in my hand. I carry what I learned through every trial, every fight. Values built through struggle turn into my inner light. I don't chase direction from a world that shifts and turns. I trust the steady fire that inside my spirit burns. Bigger than the doubt, bigger than the fear I face. Bigger than the moments where I lost my sense of place. Every heart door open when I found the strength within. That's the only victory I ever needed to begin. Every rep I finish is a prayer, answered in motion. Every hard set completed is my faith and my devotion. I don't look for God up there beyond the furthest star. I find him right here in my chest, closer than I are. Got it by conviction, got it by the peace I found. Standing on the foundation that never loses ground. The courage that I carry didn't come from something outside. It came from finding God in the middle of my stride. The light that got me forward isn't something far or vague. It's the fire I discovered in the deepest of the plague of doubt. In fear and struggle I found something more. Steady, constant courage I had never found before. Every step I take now carries purpose, carries peace. Every hard day I push through, my strength continues to increase. I found the light wasn't me from the very start of time. And now I walk forever with that fire that is mine. Yeah. What I believe inside don't stay hidden in my chest. It shows up in the choices and the way I pass every test. No mask to wear when the pressure comes to call my name. My actions match my faith, they carry the same flame. Integrity ain't a word I speak, it's a life I build. Every single choice I make is a promise fulfilled. To the values that I carry, to the purpose that I hold. I don't live one way in private, another way when told. Faith ain't just a Sunday word I speak and then sit down. It's the discipline I carry through the week. Around every rep, every hard choice, every moment no one sees. That's where the real belief gets tested, gets its keys. I don't need an audience to prove what I believe. The proof lives in my habits and what I choose to achieve. When nobody's watching, when the room is empty and still, that's where my faith gets measured. That's where I show my will. Perseverance is the evidence that what I say is true. Every hard day I keep pushing is a promise I renew. To the purpose I was given, to the fight deep inside. I don't fold under pressure, I don't run, I don't hide. Every choice I make is weight against the faith I hold. If it don't align, I leave it no matter how it's sold. This is not performance, this is not a mask I wear. What I live and what I believe are the exact same prayer. Self-empowerment ain't arrogance, it's knowing what I stand for. Every day I wake up choosing to become a little more aligned with the purpose planted deep inside my soul. Bigger than the pressure, bigger than the world's control. Bigger than the shortcuts that can get me there faster. Bigger than the master turns a life into disaster. I don't compromise to fight it just to fit the room. What I believe is what I live, that's my consuming. Every rep confirms the faith that I don't just profess. Every hard choice made a line, this proof is my address. To the man I'm building daily, to the purpose I pursue. No shortcuts, taking quiet, no version that's not true. I don't need the world's applause to validate my walk. My life the only sermon, my choices are the talk. Integrity and purpose, perseverance and belief, combined into a life that offers the world no relief. What I believe inside shows up in everything I do. No mask, no shortcut, no version that isn't true. Every choice I make each day reflects the fire I hold. Faith and action fused together, powerful and bold. I don't live one way in secret, another way in life. What I believe in, how I live, stay perfectly aligned tight. This is not performance, this is not a fleeting phase. I live what I believe is the truth in all my days. I believe, not like I doubt. Faith without movement, don't work it out. I ask, then I act. I don't just wait, prayer plus action. That's my faith, never. I don't pray and sit still. I pray, then I move, that's the will. Faith with attitude, faith that walks, not faith that just sits and only talks. Pray, move, the two combined as one. I'm ready until the work is done. I don't ask for the door and then just stand. I ask, then I walk with my own hand. Faith that believes, acts like it's one. I'm before the proof, before it's done. I move like the answer already arrived. That's how a believer stays alive. Prayer opens the door, action walks through. That's the faith that I choose to do. This the faith that moves, that grinds. I'm ready with prayer on my mind. Belief without hustle is a wish, not a plan. I turn every prayer into a stand. I take the step before I feel sure. That's the faith that stays secure. I don't wait for signs to start the fight. I act like the vision already in sight. Faith with attitude, faith with the drive. That's how a believer stays alive. Like the victory's already mine. I'm ready, moving one more time. I don't separate the prayer from the work. Both hands moving, neither one shirks. Faith is the fuel, action is the flame. Together they build the exact same aim. Bigger than a than the weight, bigger than the version that hesitates. Every prayer I speak gets matched with a step. That's the covenant that I've kept. This the ground, faith and action aligned. I'm ready, everything's mine. Every rep is a prayer in motion. Every heart set is my faith and devotion. I don't kneel then stop, I kneel then rise. Faith with attitude is how I capitalize on everything given, on everything sent. I don't waste the prayer, I pay the rent. With daily action, with daily fight. That's the faith that walks in the light.